Hello, welcome to the podcast. My name is Austin Muratori, and I'm a digital cinematography student online here at Full Sail University. Today, we're going to be talking about the evolution of the thriller genre, so let's get into it. In 1923, Lloyd's film Safety Last was released. This is considered one of the earliest thriller films ever made. In 1926, The Lodger was released. This was a frightening Jack the Ripper tale, and Alfred Hitchcock's very first thriller. Hitchcock figured out the formula for the perfect thriller. The key elements are suspense, tension, and anxiety. Hitchcock would go on to master these elements, causing the audience to sit on the edge of their seats for the entire movie. He would eventually go on to be named the master of suspense and the father of the thriller. Although Hitchcock was a dominating force in the thriller genre, there was another filmmaker who had also helped change and advance the thriller genre. Fritz Lang made a great spy thriller called Spies in 1928, and it just so happened to be the very first of its kind, and it would eventually be the inspiration for the future James Bond films. Another brilliant film that Fritz Lang made was M in 1931, starring Peter Lorre. This was a crime thriller, and suddenly the thriller genre multiplied, paving way for multiple subgenres. The film used groundbreaking techniques at the time, which was voiceover narration. Fritz Lang was known for being really hard on his actors, especially on this film. Peter Lorre stated that Fritz had thrown him down some stairs over an argument. No wonder this film was so intense. The 1940s through the 1960s, Hitchcock's dominance and the subgenre. Thriller genre continued to leap forward throughout the 40s, 50s, and the 60s. Sound was being used, adding a new level of suspense, giving the characters more depth. And Technicolor really broadened the horizons as far as the setting and wardrobe goes. Hitchcock made Shadow of a Doubt in 1943, which he said was his personal favorite out of all of his films. In 1944, George Cukor made a film called Gaslight. Gaslight was classified as a psychological thriller, making it the first of its kind. The thriller genre has a lot of subgenres, such as action thrillers, political thrillers, crime thrillers, and horror thrillers, to name a few. The genre is so vast that more and more subgenres, or hybrid genres, are going to form. People say that Alfred Hitchcock was at his best during the 50s. He made so many great classic films, one after another. My personal favorite Hitchcock film from the 50s is the 1958 classic Vertigo. The 60s saw Hitchcock's greatest film he ever made, Psycho in 1960. It had a perfect blend and balance of suspense, tension, and a little bit of comedy. It essentially took most of the thriller subgenres and mixed them all together into one film. But the absolute best scene in this film would have to be the shower scene. 1970s to 1980s, the rise and the end. Things were changing in the thriller genre in the 70s and 80s. New filmmakers were on the rise. Now, there was actually competition in the genre that was never seen before. Steven Spielberg came on strong with his classic horror thriller, Jaws, in 1975. And Francis Ford Coppola had success with a spy thriller, The Conversation, in 1974. The 90s to present day, a new kind of change. The 90s to now, thriller films have actually changed quite a bit. Rob Reiner's Misery in 1990 saw a new kind of evil. So did John Demme's Silence of the Lambs in 1991. The 90s seemed like the decade of the psychological thriller. As far as the future of the thriller genre goes, it'll keep evolving. New subgenres will come up, new hybrids, and new filmmakers will continue to find new ways to keep the audience on the edge and the anxiety high. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Take care.